Hey, it's happening, guys. It's Tyler from Valve News Network, and today I'm going to be talking about all the unused and unreleased characters from Half-Life 2. Here we go. Now, the first character we're going to talk about is the first character you were intended on meeting after the G-Man monologue, and this guy is named Samuel. Samuel is a citizen that was cut very early in Half-Life 2's development, but his original use was supposed to be expositioning the plot of Half-Life 2 to the player. He was supposed to be seen in the train ride to City 17, and he would talk to you about everything that has happened in between the events of Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2. Now, Samuel himself appears in some story fragments written by Mark Laidlaw, featured in Half-Life Raising the Bar. Samuel was also supposed to be giving the player his gas mask early within the Half-Life 2 campaign. Now, the gas masks were supposed to be worn by the citizens due to the air exchange. The air in City 17 and all of Earth after the Combine invasion was poisonous, and every human had to wear gas masks. However, these were cut at the same time the air exchange chapters themselves were cut. Now, Samuel himself was later replaced by the few people that you saw on your train ride, which was incredibly shortened, and Samuel himself is only seen in his original model and face texture seen within the Half-Life 2 leaked file. The next cut character is the Consul. Now, the Consul was the original version of Dr. Breen's administrator character, but instead of all the characters referring to Dr. Breen as the administrator, they just referred to him as the Consul. And this is a slightly different character to begin with. First of all, this character is more of like a general dictator of all of City 17 instead of just an overseer. Second of all, everything related to the Consul seems more propaganda-driven. In the original train ride that Gordon was supposed to take, there was supposed to be Council propaganda posters plastered everywhere, telling the citizens to remain calm and to love the Council. The Council, however, was supposed to have very similar story arc elements that would later be recycled for Dr. Breen. One of the major differences, however, was the Council's office itself. Now, in Half-Life 2, Dr. Breen's office is more of the dystopian Combine-esque office that you would come to expect, but the Council's office itself is more ornate, and it also seems much more futuristic. There is a concept art of the Council's office itself, and there is also a very early prototype map of this office. There is also some unused voice lines of the Council through the original Breen cast.
The true citizen knows that duty is the greatest gift. The true citizen appreciates the comforts of City 17, but uses discretion. The true citizen's identity band is kept clean and visible at all times. The true citizen's job is the opposite of slavery. The true citizen conserves valuable oxygen.
The Breen cast itself had a completely different look, and instead of a live video broadcast of Breen himself, you have some early textures of the Council that loops over and over on top of the voice files. The only things remaining in the leaked files of the Council is the statue that was supposed to stand outside of the Council Plaza and the few missing voice files. Everything was then later recycled into what we know as Dr. Breen, and anything related to the Council itself was not seen in the final game. Next character is Eli Maxwell, the original version of Eli Vance. Originally, Eli looked more like a homeless guy that lived in the junkyard instead of a scientist with his own laboratory. He had a place that everyone referred to as a lab, but the lab itself was more of just a junkyard with a lot of wrecked cars and a wrecked school bus. Eli Maxwell himself had many story elements that were later recycled into Eli Vance, such as his leg being torn off and Dog the robot, and Eli Maxwell was supposed to still be giving you the physics manipulator gun. Eli Maxwell also states that he lost his leg during a particle storm, instead of losing one to a bull squid like Eli Vance did in the final version of the game. There are also some unused Eli Maxwell files seen within the Half-Life 2 leaked beta.
If you've never been out there before, I have one piece of advice. At the first flicker of green light, you run. First storm I saw, I made the mistake of stopping to study it. That's how I lost my leg. I've seen them take out whole squads, reeling in soldiers, tearing gunboats to bits. Some say it's only an electrical disturbance, but if you ask me, there's an intelligence in there somewhere. If only we could communicate with it, a force like that on our side. Now that would be a powerful ally.
Next is Helena Mossman, the original version of Judith Mossman. Helena Mossman as a character appears to be very similar to the final Judith Mossman. The major differences include her appearance, as she has blonde hair and wears a purple coat and purple pants. Helena Mossman was also supposed to be the director of Kraken Base, one of the cut chapters of Half-Life 2. Kraken Base was supposed to be the underwater Arctic base of the Resistance. Also, spoilers for a 10-year-old game, Helena Mossman was always supposed to turn on the player. player. This can be seen in sound files located in the Half-Life 2 leak, where Alex can be heard saying,
"Let go of me, you bitch!"
She is of course referring to Mossman, and also during this scene the Consul is supposed to be in the same room. This is supposed to be somewhat of a final standoff. The only leftovers of Helena Mossman seen within the leaked version of Half-Life 2 is the hair texture and the face texture. There is also the shirt that Helena was supposed to be supposedly wearing, but that is not confirmed for sure. The next character is Odell, who was also originally known as Owen. Owen or Odell was the original version of Odessa Cubbage. Odell was originally seen within most of the Borealis chapter, and he was there to be able to assist Gordon in unlocking doors and getting farther through the Borealis. Odell was then later supposed to take a submarine from the Borealis to Kraken Base, and while Gordon was at the Kraken Base, Odell's fate is unknown. Now, there is not much known in terms of what Odell was supposed to be doing in terms of the campaign of Half-Life 2, but a lot of sound files are left within the leaked files.
Anyway, come on, Freeman, catch up. Here's that cheese I was looking for. Tasty. I knew this trip was going to end in a bad way. Old days you'd never take such a risk with a ship like this. But they were desperate, running supplies out here to the ice station in that place underneath us. They didn't listen to me. Half the crew were scientists anyway, up to God knows what. Wouldn't listen when I told him it was time to pull out. Captain turned a deaf ear too. Guess you can't blame him. Desperate times. Once we were icebound, we were no use to anybody. Some of the men lit out across the ice. Right around then, those warships found us. That was pretty much the end. They pelted us with these tick pods, then came flying down all over the deck. If they hit you, you were dead. That wasn't such a bad way to go, considering. Once I figured out these sack tick things didn't like the cold too much, I shut off the generator. Let the whole ship ice over. That did the trick mostly. I tried to send a distress call. The radios were messed up. Scientists didn't want anyone knowing we were out here. Guess I should have known they were resistance. Is that what you are? That outfit ensures you sure ain't no spy. Looks like it hurts getting into it. Makes this Gumby suit look cozy by comparison.
Odell's complete model is available to be seen within the Half-Life 2 leaked files, but the textures are all wrong. After you correct the textures, this is what Odell's model is supposed to look like. The last character, or I should say characters, is Captain Vance and the Combine Conscripts. Captain Vance was originally Alex's father, and he was supposed to be in charge of the Combine Conscripts, which are human Combine officers. At the same time, Captain Vance was also supposed to be working undercover for the Resistance and planning the uprising. Captain Vance was in charge of everything related to the Air Exchange, and after the Air Exchange blew up during the Half-Life 2 beta storyline, he then moved over to an emergency bunker, which was the Uprising's headquarters.
I'm hurt. Can't move. Go on without me. Find my father. There's an emergency bunker near the inner gates. He'll be in command there. Tell him Run!
The Combine Conscripts, however, were human Combine soldiers that worked for the Combine. These humans followed Combine orders, but after the fall of the Air Exchange, turned into rebel officers. Now, there are no Captain Vance voice lines available in the Half-Life 2 leaked beta, but there is a model. There are, however, many different Combine Conscripts voice lines, which are...
Stay put, Manwich! That's an order! Hey, you in the suit! Our APC hit a landmine, and that friggin' sniper showed up and took out our gunner. We're trying to blow open a path to Vance. If you could cover Manwich, he'll take care of the rest. Get back, you idiot! Sniper owns this street.
Sniper? Pretty sure he's got a bolt-action rifle. Hit him while he's reloading.
Manwich is down! Hit Manwich!
Nice shot. Sure hope that medic's still alive.
This guy's mine! Somebody cover me! Cover! I need cover! Hang on, Peters, we're gonna get you out of there! You're all a bunch of pussies! Ah, this sucks! I'm going for it! You want me? You want some of me? Get it! Get it!
And those seem to tell a scene during the Day 4 Street War, which was to take place near the very end of the Half-Life 2 beta campaign. Captain Vance later was melded with Eli Maxwell to create Eli Vance, and Captain Vance's model itself eventually turned into one of the citizens. Anyways, that was all your unused characters of Half-Life 2. If you like this video, please like, favorite, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. If you want to see a Half-Life 2 beta recreation live stream that I did a while back, go check out my second channel, Valve News Extra. Join my stream group if you want to see a bunch of my other stuff, and follow me on Twitch to be able to see all my live streams whenever they happen. Thank you for watching. As you know, I'm Tyler McVicker. This is Valve News Network. Thanks a lot, guys.